Alright then, so welcome guys to a 1v1 here between TheViper and Fire. Now this is the finals of Legends United tournament that was played a while back, but I've not seen any content from that tournament so far, and instead of casting, another entire tournament, which takes up a lot of time, I'm just going to give you this game, which was from the finals, and I've been told it's fantastic. This is game number 4 of the final series. Yes, and it's in 3 parts as well. So I don't know if that's because the game is broken at parts, or if it's just because part 4 is split into 3 different sections. But anyway, we are here, and up to the north of the map in yellow, we have the Viper playing as the Huns. The Viper, of course, not seen him for quite some time, and I'm looking forward to seeing this one. I've not seen him play for a while. Of course, Tyrant, the Viper. And down to the south of the map in the blue, we've got Tyrant Fire also playing as the Huns here. And again, Fire, not seen a whole lot from him, but he is fantastic Brazilian player, and both these guys in Team Tyrant, of course. So Tyrant War, as usual. I mean, if you're going to see the highest level play, it's probably a Tyrant player, let's be honest. There's not many top players out there now who don't belong to Team Tyrant, so it's good when there's the name Tyrant before each player's name. So quick check of the map, because it looks like Budapest, but it's not. It's taken from the SLU map pack version 2, so I'm not actually sure what this is. It looks like Budapest, but with only a single TC start. Budapest is a very similar map to this, with the lakes in the corners, only you start with 2 TCs. And as this is taken from a map pack, so it was randomly generated, we don't know which exactly this is. So I'll keep an eye on the chat, and if you guys know exactly what map this is, let me know, so that I can pass that info along, because that's kind of important to know what map it is. Cross, apparently, according to Nimano. So hopefully that is correct. But yeah, it should be an interesting one. It is a fairly open map. Obviously, the trees are fairly sparse, which means that walling might be a little bit difficult for Viper in the top. However, for Fire down here, looks like he might have an easier time walling. Just looking at the minimap, if you look at this green down here, it almost forms a square around his base already. So for Fire, walling off probably not going to be too much of a problem. In fact, he can just wall this left side and then force Viper in through the front and funnel him towards his TC. So we will see if that is how he wants to play this. Of course, Viper, as we know, very well known for his aggressive style play, oftentimes not even bothering to wall at all. I think he really does that because of the challenge. Now, in Age of Empires, walls are incredibly overpowered. No matter what strategy is out there, if you wall up, the walls are strong against every strategy. There is nothing that walls can't beat, in a sense. And I think Viper, he got to the stage a while back where he was just like, right, well, I can either wall up and I can win every single game, or I can actually just give myself a challenge and not bother to wall at all. But this is a tournament game, and it is a finals game, so we'll probably see a little bit more conservative play from both players, and we'll probably see play that is fairly orthodox for the start anyway. The starting build orders likely to be fairly similar in this matchup. So both of them so far going for this kind of water build. We've got 5 villagers on wood for Fire, and we've also got 5 on wood for the Viper as well. So that's obviously allowing them to get out that dock and get out the first fishing ship, which is pretty much on the way for both of them at the same time. Fire slightly further behind in getting that fishing ship up, and we'll have a look at the scouting as well while we're at it, because it doesn't look to me like either of them are taking board just yet. Fire, of course, finding the Viper's wood back here, knows exactly where he's at. And if we have a look at the Viper's scouting, Viper's scouted like a boss, but he's not bothered to push these deer towards his TC. And, well, we'll see if he decides to do that a little bit later on. He's found, of course, Fire's dock down here in the south. But these deer are very close to the town centre, and it's almost a shame not to use them. It doesn't look like he's rushing to go to berries either. It's all just focused on this dock at the back, of course, because fishing ships do gather much faster than berries, and they gather faster than deer as well. So it does make more sense to get those fishing ships out. Now, one thing I would love to see in this game is later on, once the Castle Age upgrade comes in, a sneak villager and putting up a dock and making fires out in the back of your opponent's lake is fantastic. Something you don't see very often, but something that can really pay off if you manage to pull it off. It's very hard to come back from losing all of your fishing ships like that. These lakes, quite a lot of fish in them actually, so there's going to be a good amount of fishing ships in each lake. There's no reason really to stop at 4 here. There's enough fish to really justify going to 8, 9, or even 10 fishing ships at the back. So at the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to see any drushing or anything like that, but that's mostly because we're seeing this fishing ship build. 24 population for the both of them, and Fire seemingly a little bit further ahead with getting this boar, and it looks like he will probably go up on 25 population. Oh no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong person. Yeah, but he is going to go up on 25 anyway. He should have definitely had enough food. Viper also up on 26 now, though. I think that's the fishing ship there for him. 4 to 4. Wow, does that mean Viper actually has an extra villager? No, it doesn't. It just means that Fire got out his fishing ship while I was still checking the Vipers. So they're completely even at this stage in terms of villager count and everything. But look at this. Fire going forwards on the right-hand side. 5 villagers heading out across the map. And Viper's spotted that out. He's got his scout right there. And he's seen those villagers, I am sure of it. Either that or he is literally just running ahead of them and it's pure fluke that he's not seeing them. But wow, there we go. A palisade wall on the right side for the Viper, quickly walling that one off. And I don't know if he did that in reaction to seeing this forward, but he's definitely getting those walls up. And this could be, you know, quite risky for the Viper here, because he's not going to get these walls up in time for the villagers, and Fire is pretty close to the fuselage now. The question is, what is he going to do? It looks like it will indeed be a tower rush with 4 villagers taking stone for Fire at the moment, and Fire trying to wall up on this right side as well to prevent the Viper from finishing his wall. So Fire's going to just get this wall up here, keep his villagers busy, and the Viper going to pull all of his villagers off of the wood, and he's going to just go for it and push these villagers away. Now it's going to be very difficult for Fire now to actually put up a tower. There's no way that Fire will put up a tower here. He cannot do it because there's too many villagers from the Viper. He'll take them down very easily, and Fire leaving his scout cavalry out of the mix. This is really risky. The Viper up to the fuselage as well now, and these villagers are in peril as they are getting very low on health, and Viper's chasing them right back across the map. And for Fire, that really went tits up. Let's be honest, that did not go too well. But what is Fire doing? He's sending more villagers over. Another 3 villagers on this left-hand side, and it seems like he's pretty committed to this push. And I don't really know how he's going to pull this one off now, because the Viper knows it's coming in and he is very well aware. The problem is Viper does not see this tower here on the left hand side, and Fire, a little bit of a distraction technique I suppose, by bringing these villagers back on the right side. Viper pulled all those villagers off as well, so it's not like he's getting a huge eco lead from it, but of course it's not ideal. It's pretty messy, but there we go. Fire going to get that tower up on the left. Viper will spot that out with those spearmen there, but Viper now starting to make some scouts, and that is of course fueled by the fishing ships at the back of his base, which he's gone up to 6 now, and continuing to add them in as well. He's now going up to 7, but Fire is absolutely mad at this stage. He has got all of his villagers forward. There's villagers on the right as well here, but this one is definitely a goner. There's no way that that villager will survive much longer. But Fire even has got his first tower out, and he is supporting this with spearmen as well. I think he's taken a lesson from Yellow here, and he's bringing those spearmen forwards with this to counter those scouts from the Viper here. And look at that, Fire just going to wall up this stable. No more scout cavalries for the Viper at all, and a tower going up here as well, just to kind of leapfrog these towers forward so that Fire can retreat if necessary. Now the question is, will he stop Viper from defending this just with the tower alone? Viper at the moment is taking some stone at the back of his base. He's got no problem getting some stone in. And that tower will cut off the main access point now for Fire to get into the Viper's base. So Viper walling this left side, causing a choke point towards his TC. And he's got a lot of villagers. Well, he did have a lot of villagers taking wood, so he's still got plenty of fishing ships out on the water. That's 7 fishing ships back there, and that is going to keep his food coming in nicely, enough to keep villager production going, and enough to spare him a little bit of villager time, I guess, to fight these villagers back. Fire then... Has he been that effective so far? Yeah, I would say not, actually. I think Viper could still make scouts if he needs to. And now, Viper going to send out a counter-attack as well. Because back at home, Fire is very unprotected. He's got 1 spearman back here. And look at that. Oh my goodness. Viper with the sneak villager. The sneak villager right into the corner of the map. Fire has no idea. That was incredible. So amidst all of that, amidst defending, amidst sending a counterattack in with his own scouts, Viper snuck a dock onto Fire's lake in the other corner of the map. That is insane. And of course now Viper, leaving these guys on stand ground, big mistake. They are going to get taken down by the spears. But this could be huge because Fire only has 4 fishing ships, and... well, Viper's going to be making a galley or 2 from here, that is for sure, and Fire will lose those ships. So that is a huge advantage that Fire will suddenly lose by doing this, and wow, that is a huge risk and for Fire now. I don't know what he's going to do in this position. He's continuing to push forward with the towers. But the question is it going to be effective enough? And I just don't know. Viper's still got access to stone, and he is still going to be able to put these towers up in defense. So Fire is a little bit scuppered at the moment. He is going to lose these fishing ships, and of course Fire now going to put out a galley of his own, but it's not that easy. He's going to have to take some hits to these fishing ships before this galley will even get out. But nice play by Fire there, bringing them to the shore to get them repaired by these villagers. It makes a lot of sense, and it's going to buy him enough time to get this galley out, and that is just how important fishing ships are. I mean, that's a very good example of just how important and how much players value their fishing ships, enough to repair them up at the shore anyway. But I don't think it's going to be enough. It looks like Fire will lose them anyway. And that's a big advantage now for the Viper, who is still untouched on the water. Now, meanwhile, on the land, I'm trying to see what's going on. Viper is out here on the left side taking gold. And that makes a lot of sense, because his main gold is cut off, actually, by Fire here. And he's had to go all the way out over there. If we have a look at the Fog of War, Viper's got a huge amount of scouting information in comparison to Fire. Just have a quick look at the minimap there. The difference in scouting is insane. And Viper's taking this gold safely. Fire doesn't even know this gold is here. And Fire thinks, hey, Viper's got no gold. I've towed his main gold. I've towed his second gold. And... at the moment, Viper's doing absolutely fine with a 300 score lead or more at this moment in time. So he's sinking the rest of these fishing ships. He's, of course, going to try and take down this galley as well. Why wouldn't he? But it looks to me like Fire going to completely lose this water back here, and I would never, ever have seen that one coming. So... what is Fire going to do in this position? Well, he's taking forward gold at the moment. Viper's still on the loose with his scout cavalry, but I don't think they've done a huge amount of damage. And at the moment, Fire is looking, it seems, for the Castle Age upgrade fairly soon. But look at this. Villager at the back, still here. Viper's just going to quick wall that in and get up a tower behind Fire's woodline. Fire, though, I think he's going to be able to get that tower up in time by the looks of things. He's scouted this well in advance. And he's going to wall Viper's villager in, but it doesn't really matter at this point in time. Viper's already done the damage, and even if this tower fails, he's got galleys on Fire's lake. You know, he's going to be picking these villagers off on the berries anyway. He's going to be, you know, causing all kinds of havoc, especially if this dock stays up and Viper holds this water. So Fire's in a right mess at the moment, and not only that, but Viper's gone up to the Castle Age as well. He's on 12% now, and Fire is still making villagers because he needs another 200 food and he needs another 100 gold. So, yeah, I mean, this could be huge, but it looks like Fire was trying to get out a dock of his own on this. I mean, this is pretty mad. I mean, there are villagers all over the place here. It's pretty nuts. But Viper's got his eye on the ball, and these scouts here were looking to intercept these villagers. Viper, though, getting caught out by this scout, in fact. And, well, Fire's going to have to give up on that idea pretty quickly. Now, I am surprised that Viper's still not taking the big fish back here. He's been taking the little shore fish for a while. And if we hit the idle villager button, we will see that Viper did have idle fishing ships back there. We can't do that now because he's just tasked them. The only idle villager he actually has is this one in this tower, which again, it's not the end of the world for the Viper if he loses this tower. He's already now fishing Fire's Lake, but he's still denying Fire the wood here. So Viper's having an absolutely incredible game at the moment, and Fire still hasn't clicked up to the Castle Age. And once that Castle Age upgrade comes in, well, we could probably expect to see maybe a little bit more aggression on the water here, maybe even another dock from the Viper.